Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Writing Clinic with myself, Christine. I'm one of the English support tutors at Manchester campus, and this is your weekly writing clinic. So, we have been looking at pre-writing. What is it? How can we incorporate it into our writing in our past sessions? And we are continuing that. So, previously we looked at WH questions and we looked at mind map, and now we are going to look at how to generate questions based off a topic sentence or an essay question and use that to start our writing. So let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about our introduction, and that's introduction to pre-writing very briefly with WH questions and our topic sentence, and of course getting down to the final details or the fine details of extracting that information. Okay, very, very brief. If you watched our YouTube videos, that will get you up to speed. If you haven't, I'm just going to do a very, very brief synopsis on what WH questions are. So the name is questions. That means we are generating questions to organize our ideas. Okay, so if you want to have a quick think about questions that begin with a WH, please you can type them in the chat box. You can use or raise your hand to give those a go. Okay. So let's do a team check-in. How are you feeling today? I am feeling happy. The sun's out in Manchester and it is a lovely day. Would you like to let me know how you're feeling, Evelyn?
Hi.
Hi. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay.
Oh, that's
Thank
good.
you. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's get into the next question. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Super. Okay. So I'm just going to mute you for now and I'll continue. So this is what our WH questions will look like. Okay, I'm going to get into it. So it's basically made of who, what, when, where, which, and how. So we do have some blank spaces here, and I have those blank spaces for a reason because these questions only answer the first bit of our essay topic, which is discussed using AI in university. What is your personal perspective on it? We didn't delve into that, okay? So we're going to answer that together. All right, so I'm just going to switch over to my Word document and here it goes. Evelyn, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, super. So I got my topic question, and that's what we're going to be working on today, okay? It's just a hypothetical question that we're going to use for the purpose of the session. And topic sentence is discuss using AI in university, where we are currently. What is your personal perspective on it? So it's a two-part question. The first part is discussing an overall usage of AI in the university. And then the second bit is what's your personal understanding of it? What's your personal view of it? And that's where you'll get to add in what you think about the topic. Now, the reason why I included this in is because a lot of the times when you have an essay question, they will also ask you for your personal views on the said question. So I want us to get going with now how to represent our voice and what we feel about a certain subject and how to articulate it, okay, in academic terms. Now, first question is who, okay? So, Evelyn, can I ask you to read out the first question under who?
Who will get the most help from AI in universities?
Super. Do you want to keep going under the next questions, the next
Yeah.
few questions? Thank you.
Who decides if AI can be used in universities?
Mhm.
Who should check that students are using AI in the right way?
Fantastic. Okay. So now basically with this who question, we are looking at all the people who are using AI in universities. Okay. We don't know who those people are just yet, but asking these questions will help us to get an understanding of who these people are. Again, you may have not been here when we started a pre-writing, but pre-writing is the first part of our writing. We get out as much information as we can. We try to ask as many questions to help us when we are starting our writing. So right now, we want to ask as much questions and gain as much information as we can. Okay, so let's look at answering the first question. Who will get the most help from AI in universities? Now, Evelyn, who do you think this is going to be? Lecturers, students, staff?
I think all,
hmm So
all, yeah, everyone. Yeah.
everyone in university. Okay. Okay, so we basically are saying everyone in university will be using it. And that is true to a certain extent because AI is used by lecturers, it's used by students, and it's used definitely by staff. Now,
Mm.
the next question's a bit interesting, okay? So, who decides if AI can be used in universities? Who do you think's making that decision?
Maybe the government, the university campus.
Okay, so the university, spell that right. And you said the government. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So let's look at the next question. Who should check that students are using AI in the right way or the correct way?
Uh, the university.
University. Okay, so now I'm going to go to our why questions. I'm going to read these one by one. Okay, so the first why question, can you read that for me?
Why should universities use AI to help students learn?
So I want you to think about yourself. I want you to think about all the people in your classroom and think about why AI or artificial intelligence is good and the university should use them.
Uh, Maybe give more accurate, what can I say? Accurate,
Take your time.
I do not say in English. Wait.
Okay, I'll answer that a bit. And if you remember what you want to say, just let me know, okay? And I'll add in
Okay.
your answer. So I'm going to leave
Okay.
accurate on and I'm going to add in it makes learning easier
Okay.
and it make it easier. It also makes it, do you think it makes learning faster?
Yeah, more fast. Yeah, definitely.
Um, do you want to continue with your sentence? Accurate
Yeah.
or, yeah?
Maybe accurate answers. I don't know.
Yeah, accurate answers. That's fantastic. Okay, so we got that. So now let's look at the next question. Are you okay with reading it out?
Yeah, yeah. Why is it important to use both AI and human teach in learning?
Now, this is an interesting question because it's saying we're going to use both. Now, I don't know about you, but when I went to university, it was a few years ago. Well, I'm still studying now, but the AI is very limited in my studies. It's like, I would say, zero to an extent. And when I was in school, when I did my undergrad, no AI. Okay.
Mhm.
But now as a teacher, I can see the good and the bad of using AI. So I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'll give my opinion afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it's important that we use both?
Uh, I like when it's more human because it makes us more connects to each other. And the AI make people more lazy.
Mm-hmm. But this
Uh,
question is saying, why is it important to use both? So it's focusing on the positive aspects,
uh-huh.
or why is it good to use both AI and human teachers in
Mm,
learning?
it feels good to use both.
Do you want to think about it? I'll
Yeah.
give my answer first. So for me, I think it helps to reach all the students, especially, so I'm just going to say reach all the students. Um, it helps, especially if you are learning English as a second or a third language. If you're using a translation app that has AI in it, if you not sure on how to get started with your assignment and you go to ChatGPT and you put in a prompt, it's going to help you with a starting point. What do you think? Do you agree with me or disagree?
Yeah, I think in that point is good.
Hmm. Do you have any other points to add on, or should we go on to the next question?
Yeah, I don't have much idea about AI.
It's a tricky one today. Okay, so it'll be a
Yeah.
learning session for the both of us. Now, the next one is, why can AI change the way students and teachers work? So it's talking about the future, okay? We still are learning about ChatGPT, DeepSeek, how to use AI. AI also can be used to get you a recipe. If you tell them I have a certain fruits, vegetables in my cupboard, and it will generate a recipe for you. It's not just only for school that you can use AI. It's really going to change the way we look at our life and how it can make it easier. But the focus for today is, unfortunately or fortunately, AI in universities. So, with the future, how do you think AI is going to change the way students and teachers work?
Why?
Yeah, why can AI change the way students and teachers work?
Think more technology.
Hmm? So, yeah, to be fair, technology is used more. To be fair, when was the last time you went into a library and read the books?
I go to my own library in my
Yeah?
town, but just sometimes to print something or
Mm-hmm.
to use the computer, but I don't pick a book to read. Yeah.
Exactly. But how
Yeah.
often do you use your phone to read?
I don't use my phone as well to read.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah.
I'll give my personal opinion there. I have read one hardcover book. Every other book I've read has been on my PC or on my Kindle. I
Mm.
don't hold books in my hand anymore and read. So I feel like technology is definitely going to change. It will change it, or why can technology? Because it will be more integrated. I feel like it will be a part of our everyday lives then. Okay, so let's go on to what. Now we're going to
Okay.
talk about what. Oh, can you read that out for me? The first what question, please. Thank you,
What
Evelyn.
What are the main benefits of using AI in university classes?
Super. So now we're going to talk about all the positive things, okay? Now I want you to think about yourself, like any other students in your classroom that are using AI, like they're using for translation purposes, or they're using maps to move around, or they're using ChatGPT. Have you heard of ChatGPT before?
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard when I start uni because
Yes.
I didn't know before.
Okay.
Because
So
one of
let's,
my colleagues
yes.
told me, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but let's focus on the positives of using AI.
Okay.
What do you think are some of the positives?
I think it make things more faster, more easy to find if you want one information instead of you go in a book and then have many pages. You have
Mm-hmm.
to keep going until you find the information there. You just write in one topic and then it came you and then you can read straight away.
Okay, I'm just going to take that out. It makes information easier to find. I got find there. Exactly. Anything else?
Maybe something else, but
Okay. So it is a faster way to work. It saves you time. Um, like I said, it's not only limited to just
school.
using school. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's look at the next question. What can be done to reduce the risk of using AI in universities? Now, obviously, we have come to the point where AI is being used a lot in our assignments, in our essays. Even if you are using a translation app, it may, because it's generating from a second language to English, it
Mhm.
may come up as AI. Okay. So, how do you think? It's a big question.
Mhm.
Um, Universities can reduce the risk of students using AI.
Mhm.
So when I mean using AI, I don't mean like what we just spoke about, when you condense information, when you have you want to generate a quick search about something or you want to just get information, that's fine. Using AI is fine. So when I mean re reducing the risk, I'm talking about plagiarism. Okay, I'm just going to put
Ah,
that in and open and let me close that brackets there. So I'm talking about plagiarism. Now, do you know what plagiarism is?
yeah. It's like
Okay.
when the thing you write is very similar to the one you take from the book or from the websites.
100%. Okay. So how can a university reduce plagiarism? It's a big ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Oh, it can be done.
Who do you think? Okay, so think about your assignments, okay? When you submit them, who's going to be reading your assignment?
The not tutors, the examiners.
Examiners, exactly. So the examiners will read your assignment. Is there a tool that they can use to check if you have used AI for plagiarism?
Is a tutu, I don't know,
Yes,
tutu remit. Yeah, I saw that.
that's
Okay.
it. So
Okay.
they basically, so the examiners will read it, okay?
Mhm.
And some types of essays will have a very distinct look of AI about them. If you just look at it, you know this has been generated by AI. Some may not be as obvious as that, and that is why we have Turnitin. So Turnitin, which is a form of AI itself, is checking to see if you have used AI. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's like the
Okay.
police is policing themselves,
Okay.
basically. So that's what you can do. That's what is being used in universities. Obviously, with the changes, we'll have to look at other ways to prevent that. Now, the last what question, do you mind reading that out for me?
Yeah, it's okay. What problems might happen if AI is used too much in universities?
Okay, so what do you think would happen if we are using AI all the time for anything? Like if we want to
People
go
will be more lazy. They don't want to have like critical think.
oh, perfect. That's the word I was looking for. So that's a lack of critical thinking. Anything else?
Uh, lazy.
To be fair, I do like being lazy sometimes. I don't know about you, so if AI can make my life a bit easier, I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I do know what you mean about being
Mm-hmm.
lazy. It's like when you stop thinking for yourself, you just
Yeah.
want the quickest, easiest way to go about
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
but critical thinking is very important, and when we are studying, we definitely need to develop those skills. Okay, so let's look at the when. So can you see with the pre-writing, we haven't started any writing. All we are doing is just asking the questions and
Mm-hmm.
getting answers. So all these answers that we've given will be used when we are writing an essay. Okay,
Okay.
so it's part
Okay.
of a step of a step. So it's before you write. It does take a little bit of time to get into, but with practice, it's going to be so much faster. Okay,
Okay.
so back to the when. When should universities start using AI in lessons? Now, do you think they should start using AI in foundation year or your first year or your last year? Maybe you think in postgraduate studies they should only use AI or when you're doing your doctorate. When do you think?
When maybe when it's more hard, I don't know.
It's okay, there's no right or wrong answer. We're just asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be your view. I think foundation. I think
Oh,
it's good to start from foundation. Where do you think?
yeah, can be.
Found foundation year? Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
good because in your foundation year, you're still learning, you're still
Mm-hmm.
making mistakes, and you just
And then
like,
everything is new. We don't know many things. We are
of,
lost. So.
of course, yeah. So if it helps you, why not? I would say right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, next question. Do you want to read it out for me?
When is it okay for students to use AI for their schoolwork?
When do you think it's okay?
When they are completely lost with
Yes,
no direction.
100%. I could not have said it any better. I
Mm,
always tell the students that I talk to, use it at your first or your second step.
mhm,
Start off in the beginning because it's going to help you to get a direction on which way to go. Don't use it to create a whole essay or whole academic writing for you.
mhm,
That's not what I'm saying. But if you are lost, and you
mm,
have no idea, you can't ask anyone at home to help you, none of your friends know what to do, use it then. But as a starting point. So I do like that answer very much. When you have no idea how to answer. And I'll add in my answer at the beginning to generate or to get ideas. To get
mm.
ideas. Super. Now, let's look at the next question. When can AI help students the most?
When maybe when they have as well too many assignments to do,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
So
can be
some
helpful as well.
perfect. So assignments. Okay, so let's go on to where. So we're looking at where can universities get the tools and experts to use AI well? So where can they go to get really good learning tools where they can use AI?
Apps, maybe websites.
Yeah, websites, apps. Let's add in the government also.
Okay.
Okay, now this is an interesting question. Where do you think AI will be used in university in the next 10 years? So it's currently very limited in the classroom. It is probably used by university staff, and some lecturers also may use it. So where do you think AI will be used in the next 10 years?
Where? Where?
Yeah, where in the universities? Like in the classrooms, library?
I think everywhere, everywhere.
Let's see, everywhere. Okay. Right. So where in the university should AI be used to help students best?
The classroom.
Classroom. Okay. All right. So now we have extracted, we got which and how. I'm gonna pause for now, just for the sake of time. And if we have enough time, we'll go to which and how. But I'm gonna start with who. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and
Mm.
I'm gonna paste it on my blank page. Okay. So here's my topic question. If you need a refresher, I know I certainly do. Discuss using AI in university. What is your personal perspective on it? So we asked the question of who will get the most help from AI in universities, and we said everyone in university. Who decides if AI can be used in universities? We said the university and the government. Who should check that the students are using AI in the right way? And we have answered university. Now, the whole point of pre-writing is
Mhm.
to get as much information as we can before we start. I know previously I used to get given my essay topic, I would look at it and I would just start writing away. And halfway through, I would get stuck. I wouldn't have any information.
Desculpa
I,
lá, Luís. Sorry.
I wasn't sure how to start it, what to put in it, and how to end it. Okay. So with pre-writing, it takes away a bit of that stress. You get to write down all the information you know. And we did that with our WH questions. So I'm writing who here. I'm just going to highlight it because this is going to focus on all the people whom we will be writing about in our essay. Now, remember, it's discussed using AI in university. What is your personal perspective on it? So, who is going to be mentioned in our essay? Firstly, everyone in the university. Now, that is a very broad statement, okay?
Mhm.
Because it means, are we talking about the cleaners? Are we
Mhm.
talking about the kitchen staff? Or can we be more specific? Okay. So we can write that down and then we can break that into a smaller group. Okay. Now the
Okay.
next person or people or group of people that we said we're gonna talk about is the university and the government. So you can add that there. And then that's university and government. So now we have a focus area of who are we going to be discussing in our essay.
Mm.
So it's everyone in university, but we need to find who exactly. Is it students? Is it lecturers? We're not sure because we'll look at that later.
Mhm.
Next will be university and then government staff. But then again, it will be who in government because government is also very large and it's made up of different subsections like finance, business, education.
Education.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
we can now change that to education.
Education.
Okay, do you see how we have branched off and now we know it's education? Oh, I spelled education wrong. So let's go back to everyone in university. Who do you think we will focus on specifically for discussing using AI in university?
Teachers. No.
Exactly. So the lecturers or the teachers. Who else?
Teacher lectures.
What about yourself?
Yeah, students. Yeah.
Students, 100%. Okay. So now we've broken it down into lecturers and students that we will discuss, and we have a bit more direction. So from us asking these questions, we are able to say, I'm going to talk about these specific people, how
Mm-hmm.
they use AI, and what's the impact. Okay. So let's look at the next one, which is the why. So we have done the who, let's do the why. Highlight that. Okay, so, oh, I wrote why.
Mm-hmm.
So, why should universities use students to learn? We said it gives us accurate answers. I'm going to put that there. It
Mm-hmm.
makes learning easier. It makes learning faster.
Faster.
It helps us to reach all the students. These are good answers. And there we go. Technology is used more often. Okay, super. So let's do that bit. So now we are looking at the why. Why do we
Mm-hmm.
use AI in university? And we're looking at these answers. So we say it gives us accurate answers, makes learning easier, it's faster, it helps us to reach the students. Technology is used more often, and it's integrated in, I would say, classes, integrated in learning. Okay, so Evelyn, can you see how us asking these
Mm-hmm.
questions has led
Mm-hmm.
us to get more information about.
Information.
Yes, so we haven't even done any academic writing. All we have done is just ask these questions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I want to do is I want to finish the question. Oops, not that. And I want to do the second bit.
Okay.
Is that clear to you? Did you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to need your help again. You were
Okay.
absolutely super. Leave this to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see if I can get that there. Oh no. All right, so I can't get that to paste. So what we're going to do now is the second half of the question, okay? We're going to go back to the why questions.
Okay.
What we did was discuss using AI in university. What we didn't do was this last part or the second half of the question. What is your personal perspective on it? Now, the personal perspective is coming from you. What's your view on AI? How do you feel about AI? Okay, so when we go to the first question and it's a who do you think they are talking about when they say, what is your personal perspective on it? Is it myself?
Yeah. Personal. Personal. Yeah.
Hmm. So personal would be he, she, I, they.
Yeah. Yeah. Depend on many people reading or who's reading. No.
Who's writing?
Oh, who's right?
Who's writing? Okay.
Oh, okay.
So would
Ah,
I?
yeah, yeah.
Perfect. You are a star. It's definitely I. Okay. Now, because it's not formal academic writing, you can use the I here. Okay. Because it's your planning. You
Opinion.
are not writing it in your essay. When you're writing in your essay, please don't use I, but
Ah,
only for now, because you are planning it and it's a rough draft of a copy, you can use I. All right,
okay.
so it's definitely who is I. Now you're going to talk about why you feel AI is positive or why you feel AI is negative.
Uh, I think AI is in the positive way is like for example, sometimes I use a lot Google Maps to
Hmm.
go somewhere or to find one place I never been before. So for me, it's very easy instead of stop the car and ask somebody
Yes.
on the street. I put on the maps and it take me straight to the place. Even if sometimes maybe I get wrong one time,
Hmm.
I get there uh, even if I lost. So I think it's positive, even to help the people with the study is positive as well.
Super. Okay, so now again, focusing on you or your view, what makes it positive? Okay, I think you answered that a bit. It makes traveling easier.
Mm.
Um, don't need to speak to people on the street. Street with a double E. Okay, now when do you use AI? Like when you're studying, when you're at home?
I use more for Google Maps, to be honest.
Okay.
I can't see the things I use. Like I said before,
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT. I don't know it existed before because I'm not too much in the technology
Mm-hmm.
things. I don't know like what's going on sometimes.
Okay.
So I use more for Google, yeah, or Maps translator as well. And I think, yeah, it's all I use. Is everything, yeah. Google Maps and translator.
Super. Okay. So we'll leave that there now. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this, move this over, and we're going to develop how you could start writing your personal perspective. Okay. So
Okay.
this is this part of the question. What is your personal perspective on it? So it'll be I, and then feel it's positive. I use Google Maps for, let me make that a bit of space.
You say in the essay we're not allowed to use I. So
100%.
which word we use instead of I?
So
We?
you
No.
could use we, so you could say my
Opinion? No.
op yeah,
Point of
opinion,
view.
point of view. You could
Okay.
do my point of view, or you could even use the word that they have given you, which is perspective.
Ah, okay, my
My
perspective.
perspective. Okay. Oopsie, spelled that wrong. Of AI, and then you'll go into that, you'll say is positive due to the fact, and then you'll go on listing, okay? So
Okay.
this comes out with your view of it. If you feel both positive and negative, then you could add in the negatives under positive. All you do is just do that and write all the negative things you think about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But starting it this way helps you to develop your writing skills. Okay. It is a longer way to go about writing, but I would suggest that you watch my earlier videos with pre-writing and see which way you prefer. But why I do like pre-writing is that it has all the information that I thought about in the beginning. And if
Mhm.
at some point I'm not sure how to finish my essay, I can come back to this page
Mhm.
and look at that information. Also, what we will look at next week is how to take this information, same
Yeah.
here, and then started to use our introduction and our body and our conclusion. Okay, so it's a step-by-step process of how to get started with that, but
Mhm.
pre-writing. So it's just by asking simple questions, and of course your questions will be different from mine, and nobody's checking your answers, so you can add in as much information as you want or as little, but obviously the more the better.
Okay.
Okay, did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I would definitely recommend watching the YouTube videos and getting up to date on that. Um,
I try to get to YouTube
mhm.
from the QR code, but it doesn't work.
Oh gosh, let's see. I'll send you an email now
Okay.
with it. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, when you scan, it doesn't work.
All right, so I'll drop you an email with that. Okay, so I'm gonna just
Okay.
finish up our writing clinic. And as always, my name is Christine, my colleague Kieran. Please feel free to reach out to us, drop us an email, and we will help you with the following.
Okay.
Hey, okay, I'm going to